What's up, guys? Tasteless and Grubby here at MLG Spring Arena. It is an honor to be casting with a legend such as yourself, Grubby.
I want to say the same thing. I never thought that the first time I met you, I would ever be casting
This
alongside
is
you.
cool. I'm loving this. We actually have to hop right into our match. If you don't mind hitting the start button for me. We're going to have Partying and MC. We're just a little bit behind schedule here, so we want to make sure we get all these games underway. Partying and MC, I feel like maybe Partying is slightly the favorite, but then again, MC's had so many good results. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I played Parting myself. Actually, I played both of them once, and I felt like Parting was a little bit the stronger one in the micro department. And just generally his strategy, but he was also a little bit more predictable. MC throws a lot of curveballs, and we kind of saw that if you had a chance to watch on Gameplay 1, MC versus Huck. MC did 3 different things. He did one DT build with expansion, he did one 3-gate robo defense, and he did one gate, one robo. So doing a lot of different things.
It's good to have a big variety, a big toolkit. If you're going to try to disarm your opponent with different builds and strats. Introducing our players in their starting locations. In the red, in the bottom left, we do have Partying. In cross spots in the upper right, in the blue, we have his opponent with a 70% win ratio compared to the 50% that we saw before, MC. Okay, so it should be known that this map does have ramps, so it's not like Tal'Darim or anything where you're forced into potentially 4-gating or doing a more aggressive 3 gates. And generally, ramps indicate that you're going to have more options of builds. How do you prefer to play PvP on this map?
Yeah, well, like you said, the ramps are significant. The first ramp, easy to defend.
Right.
The second ramp is harder to defend, but 3 force fields will zone it off. So you don't want to defend that ramp with your 1 base army, but as soon as you're down to a nexus, like if you get to the point where you expand and you get a couple of sentries out, that is still a very advantageous defensive position. And then for the rest, and in terms of opening build orders on Entombed Valley, we do see more amounts of gateways on average. 3 gateway pressure is a very common build on this map because it's so easy to hide pylons.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. There's a couple different builds you can do on this map. The one that I just have been messing around with the most in PvP is a Blink Stalker blinking into the main with observers. And you can do that on this map. I don't know if it's necessarily the best build, but there's definitely, like I said before, a lot of different ways that you can approach playing on this map. Now, it does look like one player scouted and the other did not, MC being the one to scout. Partying is very comfortable not scouting. What are your thoughts? Because I personally am somebody who has to scout in StarCraft 2. I can't do a blind build.
The funny thing is, when you do a blind build, you do get a little bit more economy.
Right.
And I've seen both Parting and Odds, and now Huck is doing that as well, and sometimes Naniwa. They do these builds whereby every 5 minerals is accounted for. Even to the point where if you take your probe off of your minerals in order to kind of mess with the opponent's scout probe who's messing with you, even that can already change the timings just ever so slightly much. So that kind of tells you, it gives you an idea of how meticulously thought out some of these builds are, and Parting is making use of it.
And it's also very telling to see what kind of players would choose to not scout versus which players would opt to scout. Because if you're going to do a build where you're not scouting, you're essentially saying that this build should be pretty strong no matter what they're doing.
Yeah,
words,
exactly.
It should be pretty well rounded. Whereas when you do a scout, let's say you scout very early, like after Pylon, for instance. I mean, what you're saying about yourself, and you're also telling your opponent, because they see the probe get there early, is that I have a build that it has to be much more reactive.
Yeah, it could go anyway from here. So earlier on, when Huck was playing without Scout, he was, you kind of posture as the kind of player who says, I'll be safe against the 4-gate, don't worry, I'm not scouting, I'm cool. But actually the build that Huck was doing wasn't.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a funny thing.
It's kind of a funny situation there. To see how that stuff works out. It's very hard to get a build that's going to be well-rounded and bulletproof. It does look like Partying is going to go for the Stargate here, so he's going to be doing Phoenix builds. Phoenix builds can be very strong. Meanwhile, MC heading towards the ramp.
So did you see that force field? That's the only force field he's gonna have.
Yeah.
He's got double Zealot, he's got double Stalker and a Zealot and a Sentry, that's it. He's not making anything from his gateway right now. If MC goes up again, he will be able to do quite some nice damage. One Phoenix isn't gonna do too much.
All right, now he needs to back up and wait for some more the Stalker to warp in. Now he should be able to run the yellow one down through the bottom, using the gateway sort of to get in the way. The Phoenix does come out, and yeah, well played there. It does look like MC's attack has been deflected.
Yeah, and MC lost about twice as much there in resource count. Now it's the second Phoenix from Parting comes out. He will pick up that Stalker and clean up everything, in fact. So quite an ineffectual attack after all by MC. Had he chosen to go for something like a 3 gateway attack, it could have been quite good, but he just had those 4 quick units from his gateway and didn't do enough.
Do you use a lot of Phoenix builds?
Oh yeah, I actually love Phoenixes on Entomb Valley, Daybreak, several other maps. And when your opponent brings like a medium-sized army all the way across the map, you can clear it up.
Oh yeah.
And then you can pick up every unit that's anywhere on the map, because Phoenix are just so fast. And that's what we saw. Now MC is on 3 gateway, will get that blink upgrade now.
And you know, another thing that's important to note is that this does stop Colossus from being part of the game. And now we see Parting moving up, picking up each Stalker. It's not entirely clear that he will win this if the next warping round does come in. But you know, with the Zealot in the front doing the damage that it is doing, looks like it'll give him some room to actually get out. I actually had missed those 2 Zealots attacking, Parting down there.
Yeah, they just got warped in and they were kind of hidden. Now it seems like there's slightly more Stalkers for Parting, and MC will have trouble fending this off. Even as 2 more Stalkers get warped in, the losses for MC are on the higher end.
Now, Parting does not have the energy to pick up anything with the Phoenixes right now, if my eyes serve me correctly.
Yeah, they're basically serving as a factory in a TVP. They're taking a couple of hits, but they don't have an active role in the fight.
Okay, now he's going for this pylon. This would unpower the left warp gate, which actually could be enough to end the game at this point in time. A lot of trading going on here. MC having to pull a few probes. That's going to be minerals that he will not be able to make back very easily.
But it's okay. He's got 4 more workers, so he's actually allowed to use 5 probes here. He just needs to survive. The question is, can he? Now 2 Phoenixes being used to take out 2 Stalkers out of the battle, and it constantly seems like Parting is up 1 or 2 units or so. But
Blink finishes.
That's going to kind of help MC right now, blinking back units, also to dodge attacks. A nice usage there of the blink, and taking down that last Stalker. No, he doesn't.
All right, so MC is hanging on by a thread right now. The Phoenixes, though, again, they're going to have to wait to get more energy so they can pick up, you know, the opposing player's Stalkers. Warping in some more stuff down here on the low ground. He is going to continue to press on forward. I'm under the impression that actually Parting was going to have to pull out. Would you agree here?
Yeah.
I think with the 4th warp gate and blink, I think there's too much in the toolkit for MC to actually, well, hold that thought. Back to play-by-play. Okay, so Stalker's taking a ton of hits now. He does have enough energy with those Phoenixes to pick up some more units. But again, like I said, yeah, I do think Parting's going to have to turn around. There's too much of everything that is MC.
Yeah, and every time he picks up a Stalker with those Phoenixes, he can focus that one down, but that's about it. And with 4 warp gates and generally a very healthy economy, MC will eventually be able to out-micro his way out of this. There was such a risky and dangerous position for him earlier on, but he's getting more and more comfortable by the minute.
Now, do you think that Parting should continue to make Phoenixes? By the way, it looks like this Phoenix is apparently not going to die. Wow.
Well, I feel like those Phoenixes, they were a tool in order to get into the base, in order to gain purchase on the high ground. We saw him pick up that Sentry, which had enough energy for 2 force fields. And he did that. That's how he got in. And then he used them with a kind of a limited utility, not really so much for damage as much as for taking units out of the fight. And MC, but wasn't that weak. I mean, he had a lot of gateways. He kept warping in units. So the longer as it went on, Phoenix became less and less useful. He doesn't have the economical advantage, so why keep making Phoenixes? He's only doing that now because it's the only way for him even to get information in this game.
Right, right. And I think it's also, there's probably some concern of the counterattack.
Yeah, he just needs to make everything he can.
He needs stuff. Anything that can make, you know, something that can attack, you might as well get it. Now, note he has a lot of Zealots here at the ramp, so the moment the Stalkers do come up, they are going to take some hits pretty quickly here. Let me check something on our...
He actually made a bunch of Phoenixes. He has 4 Phoenix
4
already.
Phoenixes out right now.
And with that number of Zealots to buffer attacks, and with maybe 6 or so Stalkers and Phoenix to pick up, it might be kind of okay for parting. I still give the heads, the heads up to MC though.
All right, it's going to come down a lot to the Blink Micro and how Parting utilizes the Phoenixes. Now it looks like there will be a slight Zealot advantage here for Parting, which is when the Blink Micro is going to come in. But actually, as I say that, I see 2 more blue Zealots for MC over here on the top. And actually, I think there may be too many Stalkers here. And that's right, Parting will tap out with a GG.
Yeah, and we'll head over to Artosis for analysis in just a second. One last comment I would like to lose about the game is the fact that MC and the way that it works when you go 3 gateway pressure on this map, you can kind of reserve judgment until you get information about the opponent. MC did lose more units, but he got information about the Phoenixes, and then he made his Twilight Council to go for Blink. So if you're already on Colossus tech and you see Phoenix, that's a much worse situation to be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you can attack into a player, and it's a form of scouting. And
exactly.
They have to, you know, like poker, like show their hand now. Okay, look, I got a sentry. You know, this means that I'm, you know, clearly I'm trying to protect myself from something. What am I trying to protect myself from?
Yeah.
Well, I'm making Phoenixes. Artosis, your thoughts?
That was actually kind of a weird Phoenix build game because it's like because MC did the pressure and went up the ramp and lost a bunch of units, suddenly Parting was like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to counterattack with my 3 gates and just it's like a 3-gate counter pressure with 2 Phoenixes. So it was like actually a really weird game. I have to say though, one thing I really didn't like is that when Parting actually saw that he had Blink, that time he went down the ramp, I don't think he should have gone up one more time. I feel like that was the time where it's like, all right, I've done damage. I've actually reduced his unit count many times over. I'm going to go home with this big group of units. And I felt like that was really a wasteful area. And after MC kind of like brutally stopped it, that I feel like MC was thinking to himself, all right, all I have to do right now is make units and I'm going to be fine.
Yeah, you know, I totally agree. There was a period where I thought once Blink was finished that he has to get out now.
Yeah.
He has to actually run, right? I mean, he's got the information he needs. Blink Stalkers are always going to be beating Stalkers without Blink. It's straightforward.
That's just the
For
case.
some reason.
I don't understand. There must be something magical about it. But and then of course you had Phoenixes, which did not really have the energy to pick up units.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's totally okay to turn around then.
Oh, you know what else actually I didn't like was him remaking Phoenixes towards the end. I get it because at that point it's like, well, I don't have any tech, you know. But at the same time, MC's only on the Blink Stalkers because obviously getting ahead like that, he's going to want to start attacking. I feel like he could have actually used that gas much better in some different ways. So.
Yeah, and if he kept that army with which he went up the ramp again and didn't go and lose it, that would be more of a threat and more of a deterrent for MC not to counterattack yet.
Yeah.
And then if MC went across the map, he would be able to use those Phoenix, kill a few probes, and then return home. You know, a lot more nuances rather than just, well, just going to go up one more time.
I'm stuck here, so I might as well go through this. We have now loaded up the game, so get ready for game number 2.